Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Games and Things, pub tables, bar stools, poker tables, pool tables, home theater seating of all types, all kinds of things that would be too heavy to throw if you're at a stadium. When you're looking to create a fun room or a media room or a man cave, as they say, get to Games and Things. Life should be fun. That's their motto. They make it fun. For more than 40 years, they've been East Tennessee's fun store, if you will. Visit them this week. You'll be very happy you did. Games and Things. Okay, James Franklin complained last week that Iowa fans booed an injury to a Penn State player. Iowa's Kirk Ferentz said Iowa fans aren't idiots. Basically, we know you're going to be falling down. People are going to complain that their players are getting booed when they're hurt. I think they should stop that if they're all going to continue to flop. We saw it with Jeremy Pruitt last year. There was a play last night where Josh Heupel had a guy flop. And you saw it on the broadcast. Lane Kiffin has mastered the art. Now, I don't know how many of those guys are really hurt. So I'm sure some of them really were. Probably cramping as well because you're running 8,000 plays, as Nick Saban once warned about these up-tempo offenses. But there's a lot of faking going on. My question for you guys is, how do you stop the flop? And let me start with the defensive guys down there who would be called upon to be floppers. Should flopping start, or is that a tool to combat the tempo stuff?
My question to you is, how do you figure out who's flopping and who's not flopping? What's a cramp? What's a call we had was Red Cross. Red Cross mean get down.
If I heard Red Cross, I'd say flop.
Flop, yeah. But how do you determine who's actually flopping and who's actually down with an injury? Like you said, there's a lot of plays last night.
Well, I just think you take it and you look at what, I never wanted to be in European soccer and do the fake and get down like that. I mean, they're trying to take advantage of where the rules are. So the rule ought to be, listen, if that guy goes down, he cannot return to the field until change of possession. And then all of a sudden you lose that player for, the series right there. And so then if you're willing for that guy to flop and you're okay with the backup coming in, okay, but you've lost the advantage of probably having a starter in and having to use another guy. So that's what I would do, is just make it that way that, okay, you can be out, but you can't come back in until we've changed possession.
Okay, let me get Jimmy and Bob to weigh in on that idea. Is that how you would combat flopping?
Well, I don't oppose that, but my suggestion for a long time has been you sit 5 plays.
Okay, so
if you flop,
change of possession or 5 plays.
So, this way you don't have to keep a track of how many plays this guy out. Just like you can't come back in until we've changed possession.
But you both say sit the guy for X amount of plays after.
Right, so if he's really injured, he shouldn't be coming in on the next play. So,
right.
Yeah, okay.
Bob, do you agree with that?
I do and I don't. And I don't have time to go into it because
Very quickly.
guys really get hurt.
Yeah.
And I mean, you hate to see a guy who really did get a cramp, who really can come back after one play, have to be penalized for, say it's a possession, say it's a 10-play possession. Okay, you've just lost the fifth of your game because you had a cramp.
Final drive of the national championship game.
So I think those are good ideas. I think that's the direction they'll have to go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, guys get hurt and guys do cramp up.
Here's the other. Go ahead, Will.
But I was just going to say, but if you have a guy literally every single play,
then
you're like, we got to do a rule that's unfortunately going to have unintended consequences on the other side.
And here's let me give you another unintended consequence. See, I like that idea until it dawned on me. Everything's about player safety now, right? Isn't that more likely to make a coach say, don't go down, get out there and keep playing hurt?
That's a very good point. Good point. We're talking about two offenses that run a lot of plays. And on any given play, a DB, a defensive lineman, linebacker is running all around the field. And so my question is, cramps do happen. As a former player, you've had them. I've dealt with them. It does happen, and usually it happens when guys are running around and having to chase a guy around, or up-tempo is happening, which both offenses do. My question to you would be, exactly, yes, we have to stop it. But how do you determine who is actually hurt and then who was asked to be the fall guy?
Let's go. If I got a guy that's hurt, I'm probably not telling him to go back out there because he's probably going to hurt me if he's really hurt, right? So,
well, but we all know Will, you and I have had discussions about, no, you don't need surgery. And then as soon as the season ends, we schedule you for 9 surgeries, Mr. Frankenstein. I mean, I think there would be coaches who would say, get up, don't limp. I don't know.
I'll be honest, the coach always told me, he said the one thing that he talked to a lot of pro guys, and the pride was I never was going to get pulled off the field. I was always going to be able to get up and walk off the field. Yeah. And that used to be a tradition of like, you were not going to show going down. You were going to be tough enough to get it out and get to the sideline without somebody taking you off. And now I'm like, man, everybody's got to get walked off
When
this field.
men were men.
Unbelievable, right? You know what I mean? That was literally, they told me that was like, that should be like your motto. How do you become that in your career?
There's a lot of testosterone on this desk right now. Most of it at that end of the table. Let me give you my rule. Here's how I would do it. All right. The only way you stop coaches from doing anything is hit their wallet. The league will review all games. Hire some intern. You got millions, SEC. If a player leaves the field to play due to injury and is then seen behaving normally on the sideline and or is not checked by medical staff, the coach will be fined $50,000 stinking dollars. It goes to SEC charities. Kiss my tail if you don't like it. Next, the coach will be fined $50,000 each and every time a player is deemed to be feigning injury. And we're going to have our own little kangaroo court sitting down there in Birmingham or Hoover, wherever their offices are these days. And if you don't like it, then now the problem is that still leads to my issue of you might have coaches saying, "Get back out there, you're costing me money." But I would, if you want to stop it, take Lane Kiffin's money, take Josh Heupel's money, take Mark Stoops' money, take their money, and I think they'd pay attention. That's my thought.
Well, if you lose a guy for a possession and you're going to lose a game,
That'll
you're
cost
taking
you
money,
money, too.
you're taking money from him. So, I mean, that's to me is how to do it.
All right, very good, guys. Appreciate it. Bob, you, alphabetically, are back in first place in the pick segment. So while you are leaving, we will be calling you and talking to you later to get your pick, because whoever's in first place, even if it's just by alphabet, they have to pick first. So I'll be calling you a little later.
I'm cooking.
You better have your phone on. Cooking for your Vikings party. Good luck to your Vikings. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you much.
When we come back, rapid fire question on whether injured players should be used at Bama if they're iffy. Can UT sneak a win the next 3 games? And much more. We got tons to come. Come on back on the Sports Source.